Have you ever noticed that modern life just constantly feels rushed? Like even when there's literally no actual emergency going on, you probably still feel this quiet, lingering pressure to act, to respond, to decide right now. Welcome to this explainer for the unseen costs. We're going to be exploring the hidden psychological and financial systems that really shape our daily behavior. Today, we're investigating a fascinating and, honestly, slightly unsettling question. Okay, let's dive into this. Why does everything feel so incredibly urgent now?
So, why do we always feel behind? It's something most of us feel every single day. You feel it the second you look at your phone, you feel it when you check your email, you even feel it when you're just trying to relax on the couch. But you simply can't let your mind rest. You just feel behind, like there's always something you're forgetting to do. But here's the thing, and this is super important. Many of these feelings of urgency aren't accidental at all. They aren't some sign that you're just bad at managing your time. Actually, they're often carefully designed into the very systems you interact with every single day. Your feeling of being behind? Well, it's a completely predictable result of how modern life operates.
Let's think about a typical morning routine. A person wakes up, and honestly, before their feet even hit the floor, they're reaching for their screen. And what do they see? A total barrage of notifications, breaking news alerts, work emails, unread messages. Oh, and a highly urgent promotional offer for, 10% off a pair of socks. The day literally begins with a massive dose of urgency. This all happens before you've even brushed your teeth or made a cup of coffee. Before anything in the real physical world has actually happened, you're already being told that things need your immediate attention. It's wild, right? You're reacting to a crisis that is, well, really just an advertisement. Section 1, why everything feels rushed, then versus now. Okay, let's move to and see how this builds. To truly understand why this feels so exhausting, we really need to look at our history and see how our evolutionary past clashes with our modern reality. You see, for most of human history, urgency was actually incredibly rare. It usually meant real, actual danger, survival, natural disasters, emergencies, or severe illness. Our human brains evolved to pay very, very close attention to urgent situations. Because, back then, when something felt urgent, it meant you needed to act quickly to survive a physical threat. That rapid response is literally what kept our ancestors alive. But today, urgency appears absolutely everywhere. It triggers when we're checking emails, scrolling through social apps, browsing websites, or just paying bills online. Modern life constantly manufactures the feeling that something needs your attention right this second. And because of this, our ancient brain is treating a totally normal notification like a life or death survival threat. We're constantly triggering a very old survival instinct for entirely normal everyday digital tasks. Section 2, competing for your attention. The battle for your screen. You see, many modern digital systems are quite literally fighting for your focus because your attention is highly, highly valuable to them. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how social media platforms use highly specific triggers to constantly manufacture urgency. Think about things like trending topics, disappearing stories, live streams, and streak systems. Every single one of these features is built to make you think, I need to check this now, or I can't miss this, or let me look at this right now before it's gone forever. It's like an invisible clock ticking down on your social life, creating pressure where none actually needs to exist. I mean, we get terrified of breaking a digital streak, even if we can't remember why we started it in the first place. And it's definitely not just social media. News media uses the exact same strategy. Look at these phrases we see all the time. Breaking news, developing story, live updates, happening now. The entire goal is to make information feel immediately important. Even when waiting a few hours to read the news would make absolutely no difference to your everyday life, these urgent words force your brain into a constant state of high alertness. And the final result of all this? Constant interruption. Your focus is just shattered into tiny pieces throughout the entire day. Now, before we continue exploring how this constant interruption shapes our spending and shopping habits, I just want to say if you're finding this explainer helpful, please take a quick moment to subscribe and follow the unseen costs. We create cinematic explainers exactly like this one to help you uncover the hidden systems shaping modern life. Okay, now let's look at how this feeling of urgency moves right from our media straight into our wallets. Section 3, the pressure to buy, engineering fast decisions. Because, the media landscape is really just one piece of the puzzle. The world of online shopping relies on urgency just as heavily to guide your behavior. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. We've all seen these messages. Only two left. Sale ends tonight. These countdown timers, flash sales, and limited stock warnings create immense psychological pressure.
You might be looking at a product you didn't even know you wanted 5 minutes ago. It definitely wasn't a planned purchase. But suddenly, a ticking timer appears on your screen. And now the purchase feels incredibly urgent. Think about that for a second. The physical product itself didn't change at all. Only the feeling changed. The customer stops focusing on deciding carefully and instead starts focusing entirely on acting quickly. The system literally forced a rush decision. This strategy is baked into almost everything we consume today. Food delivery apps hit you with limited time offers and expiring rewards, so you'll order food right now. Streaming platforms push trending shows, limited releases, and constant suggestions at you, basically turning a relaxing evening into a race against the cultural clock. You end up scrolling frantically for 20 minutes just to pick a movie you're probably going to fall asleep to in 10 anyway. The underlying message across all these platforms is always exactly the same. Eat this now, watch this now, do it quickly before moving on to the next thing. So, why do businesses actually do this? Well, it's pretty simple. Because fast decisions equal less comparison, less research, and less reflection. When people feel rushed, they have fewer second thoughts. They buy more, they subscribe more, they stay engaged longer. The engineered urgency entirely benefits the system, not the person making the decision. Section 4, the convenience trap, rewriting our expectations. All of this engineered urgency is actually very closely tied to our modern culture of convenience. Think about this timeline. Waiting used to be a completely normal part of being human. People waited days or even weeks for letters. They waited for deliveries. They waited to see movies in theaters. They waited for basic information. But today, modern systems have systematically removed waiting from the equation. We completely expect instant downloads, one-click purchases, instant payments, and same-day shipping. We are living in the instant era. Instant access, instant delivery, instant entertainment, and instant communication. Now, of course, convenience makes life easier in a lot of ways. I think we can all agree on that. But it also quietly changes our baseline expectations. The more we experience instant gratification, the harder waiting actually feels. We are literally becoming deeply uncomfortable with simply waiting. Section 5, the real unseen cost, the psychological toll. And that leads us to the most important part of this explainer. What actually happens to a person when their brain is constantly told to hurry up, all day, every day? Well, these are the emotional realities many people report experiencing today. Feeling completely overwhelmed, distracted, exhausted, mentally busy, just constantly behind. If you feel this way, I want you to know you are absolutely not alone, and it might not just be your personal stress. A huge part of this experience comes directly from interacting with digital systems that continuously demand your immediate attention. Here's the core mismatch. For our emotional health, our brains desperately need signals that say, slow down, wait, think, and pause. But the signals we actually get all day long say the exact opposite. Hurry, check, respond, buy, watch, click. Over time, this intense state of urgency just becomes our new normal state of being. We actually stop noticing it. We just assume that life is simply busy. So, the crucial point is this. Life isn't just busy. We live inside systems optimized for speed and immediate action. What feels like your own personal stress is partly just the result of living inside these incredibly fast-paced environments. The hidden cost here isn't simply having a busy schedule. The truly unseen cost is how this constant urgency slowly changes our patience, our focus, our decision-making, our spending habits, and our overall emotional well-being. You have to remember that many modern businesses and platforms benefit immensely when we act immediately, but very, very few of those systems benefit when we actually slow down, pause, and think. Most people only notice the notification. They notice the flashing countdown timer. They notice the big red sale banner. But far fewer people notice how thousands of these tiny moments of engineered urgency are quietly shaping the way they think and live every single day. That is the true unseen cost of modern life. Thank you so much for watching this explainer. If you enjoyed this cinematic look into the hidden systems of our world, please subscribe and follow the unseen costs for more. We really want to help you stay psychologically sharper and just more conscious of the systems around you. Take a moment to really slow down today. And the next time a countdown timer flashes on your screen, just ask yourself, is this an actual emergency or is it just an algorithm? We'll see you next time.